Ever wonder what really happens after you hit submit on a casting call? You've got the perfect headshot, a killer resume, and a reel that shows off your talent. You're convinced you're the one for the part. But then silence. What gives? Let's pull back the curtain on the mysterious world of casting and figure out what's actually going on. First, let's bust a huge myth that casting is a simple, fair process where the most talented person always gets the role. If only it were that easy. The reality is a chaotic mix of tight deadlines, shrinking budgets, and constantly changing demands from producers and directors. Casting directors aren't just looking for the best actor. They're trying to solve a complex puzzle with a million moving pieces. They're juggling the director's vision, the producer's budget, and the network's need for a marketable star. It's less about a fair race and more about finding a piece that fits perfectly into that specific, often bizarre, puzzle. So what really influences their decisions? Let's talk about the unspoken factors. First up, pressure. Casting directors are under immense stress. They have to find dozens of actors for a project in a ridiculously short amount of time. This pressure often leads them to rely on what they know works. That's where networking comes in. That's not just a cliche. Who you know can genuinely get your foot in the door. An agent with a great relationship with a casting director can get your submission moved to the top of the pile. It's not always fair, but it's human nature to trust familiar faces and recommendations from people you respect. Another major factor is typecasting. Have you ever felt like you're always called in for the same type of role? The quirky best friend, the tough cop, the nerdy tech guy. That's not an accident. Once you've successfully played a certain type, casting directors see you as a reliable, safe bet for similar roles. It's a double-edged sword. It can get you work, but it can also feel like you're stuck in a creative box. Breaking out of that box takes a lot of strategic work and sometimes just plain luck. And then there's the modern-day elephant in the room, marketability. In 2024, your talent is just one part of the equation. Casting directors are increasingly asked to consider an actor's social media following. A large, engaged audience can be seen as built-in marketing for a project. It's a bitter pill to swallow when you've spent years honing your craft, only to see a role go to someone with more followers. It highlights a tough reality. Acting is a business, and sometimes, an actor's brand and reach can unfortunately overshadow their raw talent. The competition is fierce, and these non-performance factors often play the deciding role. Let me tell you a quick story that perfectly illustrates this. A friend of mine, a phenomenal actor, auditioned for a major role on a new network TV show. He went in, he nailed the read, and the casting director and producers were visibly impressed. They told him his performance was exactly what they were looking for. He left feeling confident, waiting for the callback that seemed inevitable. But that call never came. Weeks later, he found out the role went to the director's niece, who had practically zero professional acting experience. It's a harsh truth, but it shows how unpredictable and, frankly, how unfair the process can be. It's not always about who is best for the role. Sometimes, it's about connections, politics, and things completely outside of your control. So, what's the big takeaway here? Casting is way more complicated than just showing up and being talented. It's a high-stakes game influenced by industry pressures, personal networks, market trends, and sometimes, just pure chance. It's a tough road, and even the most brilliant actors don't always get the opportunities they deserve. Understanding this doesn't make the rejection easier, but it can help you navigate the industry with more realistic expectations and protect your spirit. Keep honing your craft, building your network, and remember that every no is just a step on a very long journey. Have you had a crazy casting call experience? A big win or a frustrating miss? I want to hear about it. Drop your stories in the comments below. Let's talk about it. And if you want to dive deeper into the hidden rules of the industry, make sure to check out my video on the unspoken rules of making it in Hollywood. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more industry real talk. See you next time.